we could be like God. That's how we fell in the... Choose this day whom you're going to serve. You can't serve two masters. You'll love one, you'll love yourself. If you're yourself by him that liveth forever and ever, that it shall be for a time and times and half a time when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people. All these things shall be finished. He scattered them. Four corners of the earth. Until when? Till he comes back, till they cry out for Hosanna, come save him. The one they pierced, they mourned for him, their only son, the only son. And I heard, but I understood not. Then I said, Oh my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. When Jesus breaks open the seals, when the church is up in heaven watching him. Many shall be purified, made white, and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly. They ain't gonna understand. And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. This is the time that we're living in. We should start understanding. Wake up. Let God be true and every man a liar. Your churches are falling away. They're leavened. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump, of teaching perverted gospels. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolation set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,305th and 30 days. This is the Jews that are in the great tribulation, Jacob's trouble. They'll endure to the end. 1/3 of them, God's going to save them. But go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand on thy lot at the end of days. So the righteous will understand. So I'm going to throw up some more videos proving that the Negroes are the true tribe of Judah. And that's where Jesus came from. A lot of people are looking for the rapture. And they're going to be totally shocked when they see Jesus face to face. Those that are born again. There's no need for us to be in ignorance of this. It's right in the scriptures. It's just that most people believe their pastors and their teachers, and they don't test them. They don't try the spirits as Jesus commanded us in 1 John chapter 4. To try the spirits. Many false prophets, many false teachers have went out and are deceiving you.
Obviously doesn't believe in geniuses.
Geniuses? I'll take it from here, folks. That's right, Oral. Geniuses. It's a clever combination of the words genius and Genesis.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Geniuses is the most simplistic way of disproving evolution, while at the same time proving that through the miracle of God's pure brain power, he whipped up the universe in his heaven-shaped laboratory hundreds of years ago.
Wow.
In fact,
that's why them people over there ain't gonna never be in peace, because they living on something that's not theirs. Y'all Gentiles want to call us Africans so bad. You want to disrespect us so bad. But I am here to tell you, this is not a game. You will not disrespect my people no longer. We are the real Jews. We are the biblical Israelites. You would never be able to truly replace us. That's why y'all neo-Nazis want to say the Jews will not replace us. No, you guys tried to replace us. You put fake people over there, and you didn't think that none of this was going to come back. You took all our scribes and you changed and twisted the word. You need to repent. And because you are unrepenting, because you have been cast back out, now you want to hang us again. Now you want to come and do these things again. But I can tell you this time, Christ ain't going to have what y'all think that was about to happen, because those who lead into captivity shall go into captivity. And if you are a so-called Negro that's in America, you need to wake up and know who you are. You are the biblical Israelites, and you are being released as we speak from captivity.
Interesting theory. Well, you might want to check out this artist's rendering of Darwin's proposed missing link. Ridiculous. Nothing like this ever existed. It's preposterous. Now take a look at this picture of you from several weeks ago.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they have committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest for rights. So just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Yes, I seen it too, brother. I will see you in the Holy Land, my brother. I know that you will be risen. Yes.
Volk hat sein Vertrauen zum Führer verloren. Ich frage euch, vertraut ihr dem Führer?
Europa hinaus über die ganze Welt verbreiten. Das internationale Judentum wird in seiner ganzen dämonischen Gefahr erkannt werden. Die Nationalsozialisten werden dafür sorgen.
Die Engländer behaupten, das deutsche Volk sei des Kampfes müde.
Nicht für Ideen, nicht für Theorien, nicht für fantastische Parteiprogramme. Nein, Leben und Fett so viel für das deutsche Volk, für die Erhaltung seiner Existenz.
Für eine Einheit, für einen Leib, einen Gottheit, einen Gott, einen Heiligkeit haben und niemals ermüden und niemals versagen und niemals verfallen. Einmal wird unsere Geduld zu Ende sein und dann wird den Juden das freche Lügenmaul gestopft werden.
Die heutige Generation, sie trägt Deutschlands Schicksal, Deutschlands Zukunft oder Deutschlands Untergang. Und unsere Gegner, sie schreien es heute raus, Deutschland soll untergehen. Und Deutschland kann ihnen nur eine Antwort geben. Deutschland wird leben und Deutschland wird leben. Deutschland soll Sieg sein. Sieg sein. Dieser Kampf wird am Ende die Wahrheit siegen. Sie aber ist bei uns.
Als unsere Partei gerade 7 Mann hoch war, sprach sie schon 2 Grundsätze aus. Erstens, sie wollte eine wahrhaftige Weltanschauungspartei sein. Zweitens, sie wollte kompromisslos die einzige Macht und alleinige Macht in Deutschland. Wir mussten als Partei in der Minorität bleiben, weil wir die ehrenvollsten Elemente des Kampfes und des Offensiven
I hear that,
der
right?
Nation mobilisierten.
America stole the Jews. They stole God's jewels. Mm.
Who taught you, please? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself who taught you to hate being what God gave you. And as far as your mayor is concerned, I see should say their mayor. A man named Yordi, who has been slandering the Muslims, a professional liar, who has mastered the art of using half-truths. Put it
that they broke into our religious place of worship and got records that they can use to prove that most of us have criminal records. You can't be a Negro in America and not have a criminal record. Martin Luther King has been to jail. Please. James Farmer has been to jail. Why, you can't name a black man in this country who is sick and tired of the hell that he's catching who hasn't been to jail. Charged him with being seditious. They put Moses in jail. They put Daniel in jail. Why, you haven't got a man of God in the Bible that wasn't put to jail when they started speaking out against exploitation and oppression. They charged Jesus with sedition. Didn't they do that? They said he was against Caesar. They said he was discriminating because he told his disciples, go not the way of the Gentiles,
What?
but rather go to the lost sheep. He discriminated. Don't go near the Gentiles, go to the lost sheep. Go to the oppressed. Go to the downtrodden. Go to the exploited. Go to the people who don't know who they are, who are lost from the knowledge of themselves, and who are strangers in a land that is not theirs. Go to those people. Go to the slaves. Go to the second-class citizens. Go to the ones who are suffering the brunt of Caesar's brutality. And if Jesus were here in America today, he wouldn't be going to the white man. The white man is the oppressor. He would be going to the oppressed. He would be going to the humble. He would be going to the lowly. He would be going to the rejected and the despised. He would be going to the so-called American Negro.
Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies. Everybody is here. We are African, and we happen to be in America. We're not American. We are people who formerly were Africans who were kidnapped and brought to America. Our forefathers weren't the Pilgrims. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us. Against our will. We were not brought here to be made citizens. We were not brought here to enjoy the constitutional gifts that they speak so beautifully about today. Because we weren't brought here to be made citizens today, now that we've become awakened to some degree and we begin to ask for those things which they say are supposedly for Americans, they look upon us with hostility and unfriendliness. If you're interested in freedom, you need some judo, you need some karate, you need all the things that will help you fight for freedom. Nationalism is the wave of the present and the future. It is nationalism that's bringing freedom to oppressed people all over the world. It was nationalism that brought freedom to the Algerians. It was nationalism that brought freedom to the Nigerians and to the Ghanaians. It was nationalism that brought freedom to the people of Uganda and Tanganyika and Sudan and Somaliland. The Africans didn't get it by sitting in. They didn't get it by waiting in. They didn't get it by singing "We Shall Overcome." They got it through nationalism. And nationalism. What is it? What is it that makes it difficult for the philosophy of nationalism to spread among the so-called Negroes? Number one, they think they have a stake in America. They think they have an investment in this country, which we do. We invested 310 years of slave labor. 310 years, every day of which your and my mother and father worked for nothing. Not 8 hours a day. There was no union in that day. They worked from sunup until sundown. From can't see in the morning until can't see at night. They never had a day off. And on Sunday they were allowed to sit down and sing about when they died, they wouldn't be slaves no more. When they died, they wouldn't be slaves no more. They'd go up in the sky and every day would be Sunday. That's a shame. And it is that 310 years of slave labor that went in, that was my and your contribution into this particular economy and political system. They can give us the back pay. Let's join in. If this is what the Negro wants, let's join in. Let's show him how to struggle. Let's show him how to fight. Let's show him how to bring about a real revolution. Let's make him stop jiving. You don't need a debate. You don't need a filibuster. You need some action.
So sickening.
Just a symbol of Jesus.
Well, hello, symbol. And goodbye.
JJ painted him.
Don't finger me, Michael. I had him in the closet. We wasn't performing no miracles for nobody.
Mama, couldn't we at least let Black Jesus hang alongside?
Forget it. The only Jesus I know is him, and the one thing he don't need is a partner. Toss out both of you. This picture has been in my family for as long as I can remember. When I was a baby, I don't know what I saw first. My mama, my papa, or this Jesus. Now he's the one I know and love, so let's close the subject. Jesus was black, the Bible would have said so.
But it does say so.
What are you talking about?
I read about it. It's in Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. It says, his hair is like wool, and his eyes are like flame of fire.
Oh, Lord have mercy. It sure do say that, don't it?
And see, Mom, look at that hair, like wool, ain't it? And look at them eyes, red like fire.
Yeah, they sure.
Mama, how do we know Jesus wasn't black? He could have been from the lost tribe of Israel. They were supposed to be black.
I bet they were. If ever people were lost, we're it. If ever people were lost, we're it. There's three guys marching, and one of them is blowing a flute, and the other one is carrying the flag. You mean the Spirit of 76? That's it. Guess who was playing the drums? Buford. Buford. I've seen that picture 1,000 times, and all three of them dudes is white. So what? How many times you see pictures of Jesus and he's white? Well, what about it? That's wrong too. Cause you can't hang around Jerusalem no 30-some years and don't wear no hat and stay white. Verse 10. Are there any questions? Hey, watch it, baby. This cat is heavy on religion. I can see this has become a struggle between good and evil. Satan has a question. Yes, sir, Chaplain Gill, but since neither one of us are God, I don't think either one of us are in any position to say who's good and who's evil. Why don't you just ask your question? We were discussing the disciples. What color were they?
Well, I don't think we know that for certain.
But they were Hebrews, were they not?
That's right.
As was Jesus. Jesus was also a Hebrew.
Why don't you just ask your question?
What color were the original Hebrews?
I have told you that we don't know that for certain.
Then you can't believe for certain that Jesus was white.
Just a moment. God is white. Isn't it obvious?
Well, that is obvious, but we don't know if it's obvious that God is white. It's just that the images of Jesus that are on prison walls and churches throughout the world are not historically correct, because history teaches us that Jesus was born in a region where the people had color. There's proof in the very Bible that you ask us to read in Revelation, 1st chapter, verse 14 and 15, that Jesus had hair like wool and feet the color of breath.
Just what are you saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm proving to you that Jesus was not, and I might quote one of our Indian brothers, he was not a paleface. Amen.
Isn't that interesting?
How do we know Jesus wasn't black? He could have been from the lost tribe of Israel. They were supposed to be black.
I bet they were. If ever people were lost, we're it.
Brother Ryan, you know the Lord set me out to win over the devil and his evil. Brother Ryan, get that black nigger out here. By the Lord, tribe of Israel, nigger! Of Israel were black. The lost tribes of Israel were black.
There is a third way. My hidden way, gracias. It's unknown, said to be infinite. I believe the Indians are no more than 750 miles west of the Canary Islands. To be so certain. L'explication se fait Toscanini, Mahadatir, Esdras, is the truth. So what's worse? 2 minutes, and already you're a dead man. For telling the truth? Yes. To be so certain. L'explication se fait Toscanini, Mahadatir, Esdras, is the truth.
The black people are the
2 minutes, and already you're a dead man.
not those ones that
For telling the truth?
Well, this here's my new blockbuster. This is my daughter, Catherine. Shalom Alaikum, Jackson Tubaz. Mr. Baloo, what's the use of saying Shalom Alaikum to me? I'm a full Sioux Indian. I'm not one of the chosen people. All right, go ahead being stubborn if you want. Well, I ain't stubborn. Oh, not much you ain't. You know, according to an ex-congressman of these United States I heard give a lecture at the Chautauqua this winter, Indians is the lost tribe of Israel, but he won't admit it. Just ain't true. He was an ex-congressman of these United States, I tell you.
Papa, maybe he was mistaken.
Oh, no, he was not. Jackson just got a mean, stubborn streak in him is all. I brought Mr. Bernstein, the telegraph operator, out here from town last month, and he stood right where you're standing now, and he talked Hebrew at Jackson for 10 minutes by my watch, and Jackson pretended he didn't understand a word. Now, I call that stubborn. Well, I didn't understand a word. You see what I mean? Now, you get that truck down out of there. I'll get the sergeant. You know, according to an ex-congressman of these United States I heard give a lecture at the Chautauqua this winter, Indians is the lost tribe of Israel, but he won't admit it.
Wait a minute. Look at it. Have you eyes but see not? Which will come in handy if you're looking at that stuff. See, this is our family crest right here. And look at that crown. I am a king. There it is right there. I've been right all along. See, that's the crown, and right there, that's Ethiopia. That's where my family came from. And right here, see, that's black and white hand intermingle. But
whatever that means. And here's a shield showing that we were great warriors. With a Jewish star on it. Yeah. I wonder what that means. That means, Fred Sanford, if I know my Bible, and I know my Bible, you are a descendant of a king of the Jews. And if you're a king, you're also Jewish. Jewish? Gee, that's funny. You don't look it. I'm Jewish. Yeah, Elizabeth, honey, I'm Jewish. This is it. This is a big one. I'm coming to join you, honey. I'll be the one with the chicken soup and the matzo ball. It's impossible. I can't be Jewish. How could it be? That's what the scroll says, friend. Who ever heard of black Jews?
Children, but they subjugated black people to the point that they didn't even have family, disrupt everything, breeding them, continue to breed them as cattle and animals. There's the problem that God is judging for. Now, what this nation don't want to deal with is the same way Egypt got judged for the slavery that they have put upon God's people. This nation is under the same judgment. Y'all don't want to see it, but the same plagues of Egypt are on America right now. Now, we don't see it because nobody wants you to believe that all these calamities are coming over these people who you never paid, these people who you subjected all these years. I'm saying it. They tell you to get over slavery because they don't want you to understand. When you talk about an atrocity, you'll start talking about restitution. They don't want to talk about restitution because everybody has got restitution except the people that actually built the country, except the one that never asked to come here. Now you say, why y'all belly aching over that? I'm not belly aching, I'm telling the truth. Because they owe us $6.something trillion. That's what it will cost to pay off the debt of just the unpaid wages of 100 million people that died and was trafficked across the Atlantic. Greatest atrocity in history. And I just decided I'm not going to let them go because the Bible's talking about it. Y'all didn't know the Bible was talking about this. That's why we couldn't understand it, because we got this false, weak Christianity. I said weak Christianity. I didn't say Christianity is wrong. It's just a weak, watered down Christianity that for 400 years preachers have taught what they've been trained to teach and never teaching people who they are. Looking right in the book that's talking about us, but not knowing that it's talking about us. Then we got to study this book. This book is not a religion for us. It is our culture.
That's right.
It's not a religion. It's our culture. I said it's our culture.
Yes.
And so we've been looking around, even as black people, trying to look for who are we. We don't know. This is our culture. This is not a religion, what we're doing like what people do for spirituality. This was a way of life for God's people. Now I'm gonna break it down because I want to go all the way into the crevices of the denial and the doubt, because I'm gonna get you with this morning. I say y'all gonna see this morning, because it's gonna be important to know who Israel is in these last days, because the Bible's talking about the lost sheep. The Bible's talking about God is judging the nations over the lost sheep that have been scattered into every nation. Now, because we have had theologians that did not want to deal with the actual races of people, they don't talk about who is who. So we lump everybody together. We call all black people Africans. They never did any research to find out that black people just didn't come from Africa. The whole Middle East was black. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Just like not all white people come from the same place. Their people come from different places, but because they don't see the reason why our history does not go into detail about race is because somebody's covering up a lie. And if you start scratching the surface of it, or you start pulling the thread, you see the whole sweater fall apart, because that one lie is what everything is. Modern history is hinged upon one lie. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? As we begin to dissect Because I want to do it in the Bible, so you know I'm not making up nothing, and I'm not no Black Panther, and I'm not no black activist either. I'm a Hebrew that found out that this book is my culture. This is not a religion for me. I'm talking about a way of life for me. Oh, y'all ain't ready for me. I ain't ready this morning. Y'all think y'all ready, but you not. Revelation 2 and 9. Let me expose some great lies. And think about this. When I'm going to show you, the theologians that first studied the Bible had to know this. They had to know this, but they didn't tell the truth about it. The same way right now that people know who's who, but they won't tell you because they profiting from the lie. The lies keeping people in power. The lies keeping people where they are, because once the lie is broken, you cannot subject a man when he understands he is no longer a subject. When a man knows he is no longer down, you can't. If he knows he wasn't born to be down, he won't stay down. Are y'all there? So let's do it in the Word. Look at Revelation chapter 2 and look at verse 9. Let's start here. It says, I know that works in tribulation and poverty. Now, most of what I'm going to say is parenthetical. That means I'm going to go over some review of some stuff, because I think we run over messages too fast, and I think we don't get how powerful these messages really are, and how you're going to need to understand this, to look at CNN, to look at Fox News, to look at the news and understand what's going on. You're going to have to know you have to know these messages. You got to know who they're talking about, not just the modern people, but who are the spiritual people that live in these lands. Are y'all there? It says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but I know that thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. Now this is Revelation, Jesus giving John an understanding of the end time. There's a people who saying they are Jews, but they are not. They are liars. Are you understanding what I'm saying? This is one of the great, I don't understand how we've been reading this Bible all these years and nobody ever thought to ask, who are these people that the Bible, Jesus is so worried about it that he's actually given a prophecy about it. He's telling John about these people. And it seemed like we should have asked the question, who is it that's acting like they supposed to be God's people? Now, because theologians have brought out the point that there's neither Greek nor Jew, you think it's not important to know who is the real Jews. Because they say once we start talking about who the real people are, they'll start saying it don't matter. See, the whole point of this country is to be dismissive when it comes to truth. Because the truth reveals their atrocities. So they'll that was then, that was a long time ago. But what happened a long time ago still have ripple effects for today. We wouldn't be living the way we living if it wasn't for the foundation. The foundation is how I'll help you. Do you think J.P. Morgan them that made money off the backs of slaves are not still winning from the money they made off slaves? Don't bring that garbage to me. You think those families, Ben Affleck found out he have some slaves and he wanted to cover it up. You know why? Because it shows the silver spoon was really based off the back of the black man, and they don't want to talk about that. And so if it don't matter, give everything back. Walk away from the houses that the slaves built and give it back since it don't matter.
Give it back. Give it back.
Not only that, but even to take our neighborhoods and redline them so we could even get the FHA loans. That's how they got the middle class. The middle class was given to white folk because they got loans that we could not get. They let them buy property. Matter of fact, it got so to the point they would tell them, come here and walk out on the land. Wherever you walk at, that could be your land. The government gave all that away. Now they want to talk about welfare. Now they want to talk about entitlements. That was the greatest entitlement. Then we couldn't get those loans. And then they redlined our neighborhood to make sure we couldn't go to the bank and get money to do businesses in our neighborhood. So our neighborhoods went down. That's where the ghetto came from. If you can't buy capital in a capitalist society, how you gonna have a business? This country works on business, but you can't. But if you ain't got nothing, which you didn't have nothing because they just released you as a slave with nothing, so you didn't have no inheritance. So how you gonna build something? You need capital. They need you to have capital, so you can't go and get no money to build nothing. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So you had to become slave labor again. Low wage labor. Y'all there? Then in Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, we decided to come up, built the whole city of hospitals and all of this stuff going on at a time when segregation was so thick, and they got so mad about it, they bombed the city because black people had built something that they didn't think could happen. So I'm trying to tell y'all, don't fall for this lie that we are where we are because we just a disgraceful people. You got to look at the hand that was maneuvering and manipulating history. You got to understand that. See, my job is to expose the hand, to show you that we didn't become thugs because that's just what we wanted to be. Even the music, even the thug look wasn't designed by us. They don't even want to talk about. Notice this. Every time they talk about that rap music, that bad rap music, notice they never say who's really behind the rap music. They never tell you the Jews that own rap music. They never tell you about Cohen them. They never tell you about Def Jam, Death Row, all these record labels. Universal is all owned by these Jews that say they are God's people. Y'all don't want to talk to me. Y'all want to talk now. Now you remember before we started finding out who they were, they was telling us pray for Israel and this love. They was talking about these Jews as if they were saved without even accepting Christ. Y'all heard what I said. And then when we start finding out who they really was, now, let's not talk. We don't even need to worry about that. Ain't how hypocritical we can be. I came cocked with this today. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. We're gonna deal with this today.
Y'all gonna learn in that.
So the Bible says this is some people's call. Now y'all know I've taught this before. This ain't really new. About in 700 AD, up in Russia, place called Khazaria that's no longer even on the map. Totally erased the name. You never even heard the name because they erased the name so you could not trace the people to the place. Place in Poland called Khazaria. These Huns, these people from Hungary, Huns, notice they even changed the name of Hungary. Hun Turks. Turkish people. There was a king there called King Bulan. And he decided that he didn't want to be the Christians that were advancing from one side and Islam was advancing from the other side on his kingdom. He decided he didn't want to be either or. So he said, I'll tell you what, we'll be Jews. So he sent to Jerusalem to get those Babylonian rabbis, not the true Judaizers, but the ones that the rabbis that came out of Babylon that taught the Talmud. Y'all heard what I said? He brought them in, and the whole country of Khazaria converted to what they call Judaism in 700 AD. These were white people, the same European people in the land of Israel. We have traced them to Khazaria. They are not the Semitic people of that land. Now the Bible is backing it up by saying there's a people calling themselves Jews, but they are not. That's a great lie that we let them get away with. We didn't let them get away with it. We didn't know it. DNA evidence has come out and has proved that they are of European descent. They do not have any blood from any Hebrew blood in them whatsoever. They are Europeans hiding, masking as God's people. And the world was so ready to roll out the red carpet and give them all the money and all the weapons and all of that stuff and keep calling them God's chosen people when all the evidence says they are not. Even the Bible that they say they believe in is telling them they're not those people. Now that we finding out, let's not talk about it. Let's move on. Let's talk about something else. No, we're going to talk about this. We got to expose that. I've been in church for over 20-some years, and all these times I've seen the Israel flag, and I've seen her pray. They made us so psyched up that like if you thought bad about Israel, you was going to hell or something. And I said, why? I said, see, that was how the propaganda they put out to make you believe that these people were God's people. But then you find out, if now then you start studying who they are, you realize the synagogue of Satan fits them. You know who was behind the gay marriage?
Yeah.
Those Jewish Supreme Court justices, they were behind it. They was the five that pushed it. See, y'all don't know this stuff, but y'all just want. You know who was behind all of the music, pornography? Them. It's their people. They're never on screen. The camera's never on them because they own the camera. So they put the camera on you. They put it on other people. They won't put it on themselves. The liberalism comes from, that's them. The liberalism is them. The Democratic Party is them. The ones that wanted to keep us in slavery, which was the Democrats, by the way, were the Jewish Party.
Didn't he just say what I said? Didn't I tell everybody? Didn't I tell everybody that the Republicans was the ones who wanted to end slavery? They didn't even want to have slaves from the beginning. And that the Democrats was the ones who wanted it. So while y'all thinking Obama is good, Obama ain't good, and neither is Hillary. They want slaves, and y'all crazy as hell to think that y'all want them in there. That's why Donald Trump is trying to close down all them sanctuary cities, trying to get them to release all of those immigrants and send them immigrants back home. They are feeding the story like these people are going to get killed. No, them people need to go back to their countries, because this does not make no sense. They have brought all of these people here, and all of us people are slaves, but yet the sanctuary cities is holding them and won't let them go. You should let them go. Let them people go. How are you going to hold somebody hostage in these sanctuary cities that are ran by Democrats? And these sanctuary cities fight against Donald Trump. Donald Trump is trying to release all of the slaves. He's trying to do it without saying, I'm releasing slaves. When you come to America, you are not free. He's trying to release these people back to their countries because they are not free here. And he's trying to do it in a way without saying that he's releasing slaves. Democrats is the ones who want and always have had slaves.
I don't know that. But see, we don't know that because we have fell for the propaganda that these are God's people. Just like Satan to mask his people as God's people. The Khazar people were called the serpent people. They go along with the Bible says the seed of the serpent. These people have been called, hollowed out for the purposes of Satan. That's why all the blood families have this Khazarian bloodline. Y'all hearing what I'm saying? Nobody wants to deal with this because let's just wrap Christianity up in a pretty bow and let's just go on to heaven. And no, we're gonna tell the lie. We're gonna get rid of these lies that's been told. That's why our people are messed up, because won't nobody tell them the truth. And most of what you heard preached is what has been sanctioned by the ADL. In other words, what they allowing preachers to preach, as long as they keep in line with the lie that these are God's chosen people. That's why you see people like John Hagee and Joel Osteen and all these people just stand with Israel and stand with Israel, stand with Israel. Nobody's talking about now. How is these people who's supposed to be researchers not research that part? But do you know why they don't want to talk about that they not the real people? Because you're going to ask the question, if they not it, then who is? Oh, that's more frightening than to know who they ain't. To know who is frightening. Because to know who is the real people means you got a judgment coming. Y'all want to talk about this. That's why they don't want to talk about it no more. That's why now they're bringing out scriptures like, there's neither Greek nor Jew. But then when you study the 11th chapter of Romans, you find out that he said, has God cast away his people? God forbid. God ain't cast away his people. Just because now Gentiles can get in on the gospel don't mean God cast away his people. We'll get there. Matter of fact, let's get there. Go to Romans. Let's get there. I'm gonna walk y'all down like a fat kid walking down a chocolate bar. Walk y'all down this morning. I'm gonna walk y'all down on this. I was in Chicago, and just to see how our people are, just to see how lost
and messed up our people lives. It's a shame. I thought I was in Africa. It looked like when me and my wife, we said, Dad, it looked like when we was in South Africa. I remember being in Nigeria. I said, this is what this looked like. Why do our people look like this? We supposed to be in America. Because when you are lost and don't know who you are, every image that they put in front of your face, you'll become it. That's why women hate themselves, hate their hair, hate everything about themselves. Y'all know what I'm talking about. How you go to African-American hair store and ain't no African-American hair in there. Come on, man. You hate yourself. Who told you your hair wasn't good when you don't even know that your hair is the strongest strand there is? The strongest strand is what you got in your head. Your hair is so strong that bugs can't even live in your head. That's why you ain't got to wash your hair every day. But people have made you think that you something deficient about you, and you got European hair in your head and Brazilian hair in your head and all these other people hair in your head. Because you don't understand that you got the greatest. Your hair is so great. Your hair is so great that if you leave it alone, it'll just go into locks. It's strong. Your genes are strong. Your DNA is strong. Y'all don't know. Y'all want to talk about this. You putting contacts in your eyes, don't know that those light eyes are recessive gene. It means it's a mutation of the original. Y'all want to talk about this. See, nobody wants to tell our people this because we're scared of offending other folk. But we've got to tell our people who they are, because we done had 20, 30 years of bad education that lied to you about who you are and told you who they were and didn't tell you who you was. And the church has perpetuated by these preachers don't research enough to tell you who you are. Now, if you would have told me when I was out there selling drugs that I was a Hebrew and I wasn't supposed to be living like that, I wouldn't have lived like that. But because I didn't know who I was, and I didn't know that book was talking about me, I was told that book was against me. I was told that book was written by people that hated me. Then I find out this book is all about me. I would have read the book long before. I remember years ago before I was saved, being in jail, looking for a book. A guy gave me the Quran and the Final Call from the Muslims. And I was reading it, but I couldn't see myself in it. I didn't even know this was, because when they gave me a Bible, I said, nah, that said, somebody messed with that AI book. Didn't even know it's talking about us. What great lengths did they go through to keep this conspiracy? I said it. When you start talking about who ain't, you find out who is. So now we have already seen in the Bible and DNA evidence that the people who they say are God's people are not. They even know it now. They even said that's the reason for the uprising in Ukraine. The reason why the fight was going on and we got to fight Russia now was because they tried to move out of they know they got to get out of Israel because Israel is about ready to be destroyed. So they want to go back to their true homeland, which is the Ukraine. That's the reason the skirmish came, because Russia said, no sir, y'all not coming in our back door. Y'all not going to take the Ukraine. And that's the and the Ashkenazi Jews paid all that money and they get America to go over and start fighting to try to get that land from them people. And Russia held it down. They would not let it happen because they know that real homeland is the Ukraine. It's Russia. That's where they from. But they want to escape Israel because the Bible says Israel is going to be compassed by enemies. And Israel will not, that Israel is going to be bombed and destroyed. Just study the Bible out. You'll find out.
Segment is going to be called Ancient Israelites versus Modern Day Israelis.